We correctly predicted another move, and that's why you watch us here on Philadelphia 76ers Now. Chase senior producer Chip, as the Sixers, with Summer League play winding down, making another roster addition as they have signed Jeff Dowtin to a two-way contract following Summer League. He really did play well in Las Vegas and in Utah for Philadelphia. We're going to talk about that, but also the bosses have challenged us, and I think that we can prove them wrong or right. Can we get to 20,000 subscribers by August? It is July 22nd right now, and I think that obviously we have some work to do, but Sixers fans, diehard, passionate, always supporting the show. This summer has been the best summer in the history of this program. The last several weeks have been tremendous. So hit that subscribe button right now. As you can see, we're closing in on 19,000 subscribers. Let's start here. With this video alone, I think that we can pick up 251 new subs to get to 19K. So hit that sub button right now for year-round Sixers coverage. As for that roster move for Philadelphia, Shams Charania breaking the news on Sunday that the 76ers signing Jeff Dowtin, two-way NBA contract. During the Summer League, he averaged 17.1 points, little under 6 assists, and he did play 12 games for Philadelphia last year on that two-way deal. And the numbers were pretty good for Dowtin when you look at points per game at 17.1 and assists per game at 5.7. He could certainly be a little bit more efficient from long range, only 30%, although he started to heat up a little bit toward the end of Summer League. And then the field goal numbers, 48.3, that's not bad. But what Philadelphia kind of needs is another ball handler, another distributor. And Dowtin is a player who can give you that with some length. And this is also a player who has some experience at the NBA level. I think that showed itself throughout the Summer League. Utah, Las Vegas, with the way that he was the floor general for Philadelphia, the way that he carried himself. The game wasn't moving too quickly for him. He did play like a veteran against some other inexperienced players, and that's the least that he could have done. And now as you look ahead, he's going to have a chance, vet-min guy pretty much on that contract, to maybe crack this roster and get a couple of minutes from time to time, although Philadelphia might just elect to fill out that roster with some vets on the cheap who they might have more trust in than a Jeff Dowtin. Last year, 12 games played with Philadelphia. You certainly saw some flashes from time to time. 4.3 points per game, more than 2 assists, less than 2 rebounds, 55.5% from the field, 47+% from three, of course, on a small sample size. That is now 3 two-way contracts that Philadelphia has on their roster. Justin Edwards, the UDFA out of Kentucky, former 5-star who I thought struggled throughout the Summer League. You have Dowtin now. And then David Jones, another player on that two-way. So the Sixers here have filled out the designated two-way spots on their roster right now. These two-way players can be active for up to 50 regular season games. Outside of that, Dowtin, a player who most likely going to get most of his run with the Delaware Bluecoats in the NBA G League. So, Chip, we talked about this last week. We saw the play of Jeff Dowtin. We thought that it was moving in this direction, and the Sixers making that news official yesterday. What do you think about this becoming official, this addition, and does he have prospects at the NBA level?
Yeah, I think out of all the 3 two-way guys in the Sixers roster, Dowtin definitely has the most potential to play some minutes this year for the Sixers and actually make the full roster. So, the Sixers still have 3 open roster spots. Again, he can be active for up to 50 games. So even if he doesn't play, if he's active for a game, doesn't get in, it still counts as a game.
Right.
With Dowtin, I imagine, he has experience with Nick Nurse going back to his Toronto days and obviously played for the Sixers this past season. I think, one, it fits very well with what the Sixers needed on the roster. They had Maxey, Kyle Lowry, but again, as you said, Chase, they kind of needed another ball handler, someone that can initiate the offense, because I don't think Jared McCain at this point can really be an offensive initiator to the fullest extent.
Right.
So I like that. From that perspective, he's a guy who's going to get run, and they can, let those first 50 games or however many games play out over the first, half of the season leading up to the trade deadline, maybe leave a roster spot open, and then decide once he gets to that 50-game threshold, do we want to send him to the G League, or maybe he'll be good enough to keep around for the long term, at least for the rest of the season, on a regular roster spot. Whereas Justin Edwards, David Jones, I think those are more G League guys for the whole season. I don't think they'll even reach the 50-game mark. I think Dowtin could be a guy who you could see the Sixers sign to a regular, standard NBA contract, especially with the way he played in Summer League, shooting the ball well, especially in Utah, was very, very efficient. And again, just looked like a 27-year-old playing against 19, 20, 21-year-olds.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
we predicted this move happening. I thought he might get a regular roster spot, so he'll get a two-way deal here. 3 roster spots remaining for the Sixers. We'll see what they do with those, but glad they kept Jeff Dowtin around.
Now, coming up next, how could Philadelphia round out the rest of their roster? We'll dive into that, but first, we want to hear from you. In addition to hitting that subscribe button, hopefully we convinced you, if you hadn't already done so, grade the signing of Jeff Dowtin. We love hearing from all of our real ones, A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off with what you think down in the comment section. Now, Jared McCain did struggle a little bit as far as his efficiency during the NBA Summer League, but you know what I like about Jared McCain? His confidence. He still thinks that he's a really good player, and he knows within himself that he's going to be able to turn the corner. If you're a big Jared McCain fan, you can get his jersey now, chatsports.com/McCain. If you use that link, thanks to our friends at Fanatics, by the way, other Sixers jerseys available. Unfortunately for me, I had this old school Allen Iverson jersey. I put it in the dryer. I got it out of the dryer. The number was all messed up on the back. So now I'm going to be in the market for a Sixers jersey. Which one should I get? Let me know down in the comment section. So how should Philadelphia round out the rest of their roster? Some somewhat intriguing free agents do remain for Philadelphia here. First, you take a look at the 76ers roster as of right now. You have your starters, Joel Embiid, Kelly Oubre, Tyrese Maxey, Caleb Martin, Paul George. I imagine Ricky Council is going to be a big part of this rotation. At least I'm hopeful of that because of the development and the strides that we've seen him make. Then you look at Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, Andre Drummond, KJ Martin, Jared McCain, and Adem Bona, in addition to the two-way spots that we saw of David Jones, Jeff Dowtin, and Justin Edwards. Those are two-way contracts, as I noted, not standard NBA contracts. So that right there, your Sixers roster with some really good moves made by Daryl Morey. You know, bringing back Kelly Oubre, you sign Eric Gordon to a vet min, you bring back KJ Martin. Obviously, with the money that he's making, he's going to have a larger role. I still like what the Sixers did in the draft, given the flashes that I saw from Jared McCain and Adem Bona. Andre Drummond is going to be a great backup behind Joel Embiid. Kyle Lowry, a vet min leader, an extension of the coach who can impact the game on both ends. I thought it was important to bring back Kelly Oubre. You made the big splash of Paul George. Caleb Martin, so playoff season, comes from a great culture, and he's thrived against the Boston Celtics in some really big moments. So that's the Sixers roster as of right now. As for how they could fill this roster out, the Sixers most likely will sign some veterans that could leave open an opportunity, to bring in some vets here and give the Sixers some flexibility. So the top free agents remaining right now, Tyus Jones, an excellent backup point guard. Sixers probably not going to be in the market for a player like that. Isaac Okoro, Lonnie Walker, Precious Achiuwa, Luke Kennard, different players there. For Okoro, good defender. Ideally, you want him to be that kind of 3-and-D player, although the three-point shot, some inconsistencies there. Lonnie Walker, a good athlete, former first-round pick. We've seen him play well in moments, but the three-point shot, it's kind of up and down as well, although for him the last 2 years, he's improved on that, but the efficiency, a question mark. Precious Achiuwa, a little bit of a tweener between forward and center. I like him as a player, but you brought in Andre Drummond, so I'm not sure he would have a spot on the Sixers. Luke Kennard has been one of the best three-point shooters over the last few years. Gordon Hayward, a lot of people responded well to that on the video that we did last week. Some people really like him. Davis Bertans can't give you anything on the defensive end. Javonte Green has played in some high-pressure moments. You have Chetty Osman. And then Talen Horton-Tucker. Lakers were really high on him a couple of years ago, but the stock has certainly soared there. Chip, those are the most marquee free agents. Who do you kind of like in that list for players who the Sixers could sign?
Yeah, not a lot of guys left at this point, and I do think the Sixers probably just roll in terms of their rotation with the guys already on the roster. Now, of course, Marcus Morris is a name we've talked about a lot. We'll continue to monitor that situation, see what happens there. Although I do think the Sixers are kind of comfortable rolling out KJ Martin as that backup 4.
Yeah.
So I kind of think their main rotation is set. But you obviously got to fill out the roster, 3 spots left, I wouldn't mind a Gordon Hayward, just somebody that I think could still give you good minutes. We've seen good play from him in the past. Can he stay healthy? I don't know, but vet min guy, that's totally worth it. We are seeing some of these guys come off the board. Spencer Dinwiddie was I think an interesting name. Now Sixers signed Jeff Dowtin, so I don't know how big of a need backup guard really is, considering I think he'll get some real minutes and you have McCain. So, but we're seeing some of these guys again. Dinwiddie going off the board here, so guard not as big of a need. I think Achua could be an option, but it comes down to, can he play the 4? Can he space the floor?
What do you think of Bona?
Yeah, what do you think of Bona? I think Bona has given you really good minutes in the summer league. I could see him. I didn't think he was really going to get minutes, but he could be a guy who can give you maybe 10 minutes a night. Could he play the 4? I don't know. We'll see. One more guy I would personally keep an eye on, Davis Bertans, simply because of his ability to play a specialized role. If they just feel like they need spacing off the bench at that 4 position, which they don't really have, with KJ Martin, then I could see them saying, a guy that could come in spurts and give you what he gives you. But those are the guys to keep an eye on. Again, vet min guys, we'll see what the Sixers do here moving forward.
Yeah, good stuff on today's show. Hopefully you found it to be a very informative segment. Jeff Dowtin remaining free agents. Obviously, if the Sixers make any more remaining moves, and I imagine that they will, we'll talk about those right here on the show. So how good is the Sixers roster? Scale it for me, 1 to 10 down in the comment section. As always, thanks for being a real one hanging out here with us on 76ers Now. 2 Philly area kids talking Sixers every day. It's been awesome.